Hi there, my name is Rebecca Saunders, and I want to tell you a little bit about a gentleman who you probably don't know unless you're very into wine. His name is Steven Spurrier, and he is the champion of New World wine, specifically Napa, but he would go on to become the pioneer for all New World wine. This is Steven Spurrier. He is a British wine merchant. Not bad for a kid from the sticks is what Jim Barrett, who won the top prize in a blind tasting of French wines against Californian wines. That's what he said when he learned that his wine had beat out the French wines. Steven Spurrier was a British wine merchant. He was in the wine trade for a very long time, and since he was about 16 years old. And he had a wine shop in Paris, and so he wanted to draw attention to his shop. So he organized a blind tasting of wines from France and wines from boutique wineries in California on the 24th of May in 1976. What ended up happening was the French wines were thought to be the best in the world at the time. And in the blind tasting, there was 10 judges who were all French wine professionals, and they would rank the Californian wines as the top wines. So we have the Stag's Chardonnay, which was a Cabernet Sauvignon, and that took the top prize in the reds. And then the Chateau Montelena Chardonnay would take the top prize against all of these French wines. So what ended up happening is after Steven Spurrier organized that tasting, just as a publicity stunt, it would let the world know that good wines, excellent wines, were not just made in France. They were made all over the world. And that began a boom for the wine trade in Napa, for the wine trade in South Africa, for South America. In 1977, the first edition of The World of Wine was published. This is according to George Tabor in his 2005 book, The Judgment of Paris Tastings. 73 pages were dedicated to France, and only 24 pages were dedicated to New World wines. So that would be California, South Africa, South America. They were all lumped into those 24 pages. So after that, in California, Chardonnay production grew 400%. Cabernet Sauvignon would have its growth tripled in 5 years. And then you would have markets open up all over the world because now people thought, well, you know what? I have ground that's similar. I have terroir that's similar to France. I'm sure that this could produce excellent wine as well. So afterwards, what Mr. Spurrier would end up doing, because people were just so flabbergasted at the results, is he would keep staging the same tasting with the same wines or even different wines from different vintages. And it would actually prove as kind of a turning point to realize that great wine can be made from anywhere. It doesn't have to come from the New World. Like I said, it doesn't have to come from France. So these are the winning wines, the Chateau Montelena and the Stag's Chardonnay. And it was a lot of controversy. So you had a lot of people, especially the French wine professionals, who were very upset with the results because they thought that it was rigged and that there was some kind of forging of judges' tasting sheet notes. And so in 2009, a gentleman named Neil Hulkowitz suggested that a scale called the Borda scale would be used on the results of the wine tally sheets. And so that ended up stating that the white wine would as well win if it was a fair point system based on preference and not points. And the red wine would actually go to a California Cabernet. So today, America is home to 9,000 wineries, where at the time there were a lot fewer than that. Worldwide, there is 65,000 wineries. So as you can see, Mr. Spurrier did quite a lot for wine and the New World wine boom. The movie Bottle Shock, which came out in 2008, was a tribute to what he did. And unfortunately, Mr. Spurrier passed away earlier this year. So he did indeed garner attention for his wine shop, but he revolutionized the world of wine. Thank you.